combination of John Henson, Larry Sanders, and Giannis Antetokounmpo, a combined wingspan of over 22 feet. That's some terrific defensive potential with that group. Boy, he's just dangling from the rim after sending it through there.
You can see which team now has the swagger, Clark, right now.
Yeah, exactly. It's with them.
Yeah, but you don't want to do too much to get an opponent riled up, though, either.
Well, for the Bucks, you talk about Henson and Sanders and Giannis. All have shown some great signs early in their career, Steve, with the Bucks.
Yeah, at times it can be tough to predict which way the Bucks will go, but those three seem like an exciting foundation for the future.
Looking at who's out there now for the Bucks. Larry Sanders is checked in for Henson. Parker comes in for Chris Middleton. O.J. Mayo is checked in for Jared Bayless. And Knight subbed in for Marshall. Knight sets the pick for Mayo. This one for three. DeAndre Jordan grabs the miss.
Kevin, I didn't like that defensive effort at all, but they're lucky he missed it.
Yeah, they were very lucky defensively because there was some miscommunication there. They left him wide open.
He just hasn't looked right to me. A bit out of sorts, if you will. Something's off with his mechanics, at least as I look at it.
That drops.
And their shooting really starting to pick up here in the second quarter.
Well, the lead being maintained will not be a problem if they keep shooting the way they have so far.
And the Clippers decide to take their first timeout here.
Ersan Ilyasova struggling through a rough season in 2013-14, probably the worst shooting of his career, really. And his rebounding also fell off. Those were the strengths of his game. He's got to find it again. He's got to bring that effort and energy back to the game.
A platoon swap here for the Clippers. Mayo drives in. And Ilyasova with a big contract now. He's had two very good seasons over the last couple of years.
And Kevin, the question will be, was that the high water mark for his career, or can Ilyasova find a way to get back to that level of production? Time will tell.
O.J. Mayo, a smooth long-range shooter with deep range. When he gets going, he can put up some big numbers.
The first free throw is good. And Mayo, 6'4", coming into the league. Some thought he could play the point guard position.
Yeah, but he's not a great penetrator or playmaker, and those are two things you have to do as a point guard. I think he's truly a shooting guard. Excellent ball movement there, guys.
Yeah, I think that's what's keyed this run, Clark, because they're keeping the ball moving. Defense hasn't been able to set up.
And Doris Burke has a report for us from the sideline.
Gentlemen, it's interesting that Jamal Crawford has always embraced his sixth man role. He said, quote, nobody wants to come off the bench, but if you're really about winning and sacrifice, then you have to do it. When you bring one of your top scorers off the bench, it gives your team balance. I like that when I check in the game, the other players start getting nervous, and there's no doubting they do, guys.
He can get his shot anytime. Thank you, Doris. Shot clock at 5. Knight dishes to Sanders. The shot is off, and the Clippers will go the other way with it. They really want to find that igniter here.
Yeah, that's right. Kevin, the offense has basically been running in place.
They got to get going. Farmar kicks to Udo. Pass to Farmar. Shot is blocked. Now Knight. Passes it to Parker. It's hauled in by Los Angeles.
You'd expect him to nail that one being that close to the hoop.
Douglas Roberts passes to Davis. He kicks to Farmar. From outside the arc. And the Clippers miss again.
Good solid defense on the perimeter there, challenging the shot and not fouling.
Even the best shooters can be bothered by his defense.
And 2 free throws coming up as he misses that one. Drawing the whistle and a lot of contact there.
Ersan Ilyasova in his 7th season with the Bucks, the only player drafted in 2005 who's still with his original team. But growing tired of the teams losing, it's rumored that, well, last season anyway, he asked for a trade.
And the Bucks have only managed 1 winning season since Ilyasova joined the team. Easy to understand why he'd be frustrated. He said it always seems like the team is starting over.
Crawford drives in, tries to snap the cold streak. That's good. Crawford's got it back down to single digits for Los Angeles.
The mid-range jumper becomes a pretty high percentage shot for him when he has that kind of space.
Mayo kicks to Parker. Parker right side. Feeds it to Knight. Parker outside. The three. Yes, and Knight with the assist that time. 7 points for Jabari Parker. And as much as Ilyasova might welcome a change of address, his play, Steve, fell off last season, perhaps making it harder for them to trade him.
Well, I heard there were offers and the front office was receptive, but apparently he was a favorite player of ownership and a feeling upstairs that he's a star in the making and a big factor in keeping him around.
And stolen by Mayo. Goes up, and Knight slams it in.
And the defense just lets him go there.
And once he hit the open floor, there was no looking back, straight to the rack.
Clippers trail by 14. And it's Paul penetrating. And Sanders pulls it down. Sanders has got rebound number 8 here tonight in the game. Parker dishes to Sanders. And the officials call a traveling violation. LA has gone 0-2 from deep here in the second. Paul kicks to Griffin. And the layup is good after a nice lead pass. Griffin's got 4 this quarter.
He always knows where his teammate's going to be, and Kevin, that will let him put the ball where he wants it, right waiting for him.
Ilyasova is screen on Paul. And Ilyasova kicks to Mayo. Nobody near Parker. And the 3 off target. Clippers trail by 12. It's Jordan on the wing. Sanders covering. Griffin inside. Ilyasova on him. And that one's good. Barnes. Bucks leading by 10. And here is Knight. Ilyasova is screen on Barnes. Parker. Almost, but it rolls out.
He got the shot he wanted off that.
Redick.
J.J. Redick acquired by the Clippers going into last season. A great fit, but injuries really held him back. First, surgery to repair ligaments in his wrist, then a bulged disc in his lower back. Ended up playing just 35 games in the regular season.
And Redick, were it not for the injuries, is on pace, Clark, for the best season of his 8-year NBA career.
Kevin would have been a career high in points per game. Great efficiency for Redick as well. He flourished playing alongside former ACC rival CP3, Chris Paul.
Here's what Milwaukee's going with right now. And Antetokounmpo's checked in for Ilyasova. And Nate Walters subbed in for Brandon Knight.
Well, they've really cranked up the intensity, tracking down those loose caroms, stacking up second chance buckets in a big pile.
And those hustle points, Clark, I mean, that's just another reason why they've got the lead here.
Paul outside to the paint. Tries it from 9. And with that, the Bucks lead is cut down now to just 8 points with the basket from Redick.
That time the defenders were a little lazy getting to him.
Walters. And so he earns a trip to the line. Official saw the contact and he'll shoot 2.
And the free throws are starting to pile up a little bit here, more so than in the first quarter.
And that's one of the reasons they're in front right now.
Milwaukee had a tough time last year with pretty much everyone, Clark, and they really struggled against the West, as you might expect.
Yeah, well, they struggled against everybody because, again, this is a team in serious rebuild mode, young and not overly talented. That's a recipe for not being able to win many games, East or West Conference. Grown man's power flush with the long hang on the rim at the end of it.
Clark, that could be a catalyst for him.
I think you're right.
Well, we've seen these kind of plays get them going in the past, that's for sure.
Sanders with a screen on Paul. Walters dishes to Sanders. This is his first chance at the line tonight.
Not the guy you want to see taking too many free throws. Last season, his numbers among the worst in the league.
And because he struggled with his free throw shooting so much last season, I thought he was hesitant at times to be aggressive. Wasn't looking to draw contact and was trying to avoid getting to the foul line.
Clippers trail by 9. Right wing, Redick for 3. Shot is off. Excellent D there for Mayo.
Only 3 wins for the Bucks against the West last season. Wow, they got shut out entirely by the Southwest Division. I'd say that fast break went according to plan.
Yeah, it sure did. A good job getting it started and a better job finishing it off.
Los Angeles calls timeout.
Well, the Bucks weren't the first team from the East to get beaten up by the West in really a down year in the Eastern Conference, and they won't be the last team to suffer that same fate. It's not surprising that that's how it played out.
Henson's checked in for Milwaukee. Chris Middleton comes in for Parker. Glenn Davis is checked in for the Clippers. Farmar comes in for Paul. Here's Jordan. It's rebounded by Mayo.
And the rebounding numbers don't actually tell the whole story. I mean, they're barely ahead in that category, but when they've needed them, they've gotten them. They've really battled hard.
It's their work on the glass, Steve, that's prevented any kind of momentum swing. Giannis Antetokounmpo spent most of last season living on his own as the youngest player in the league, but after a long wait, he finally secured visas for his parents and brothers to join him in Milwaukee. Boy, really important to have that support and as he begins to build his new life in the United States.
And Davis puts it in.
And he just used his height that time down low. That's going to be pretty hard to defend against.
And Walters kicks to Henson. 1:41 left in the first half. Mayo up top, covered by Redick. 4 on the shot clock. And it's wide right. Hits off the rim.
And for Antetokounmpo, after growing up poor in Greece, really can't bring himself to spend money. I mean, he tries to get by on his per diem, takes hand-me-down furniture from teammates. I mean, really smart to save his money early on in his NBA career.
Farmar. And it's going to be 2 free throws. Drew contact on the shot. And everything is a discovery for Antetokounmpo, whether it's new cuisine or new cities. As you mentioned, he's embracing every experience.
And Kevin, he's really an outgoing person. I mean, he even envied his older brother who plays in the D-League because they travel on normal flights where they get to see people in the airport. That truly is a different perspective.
Jared Bayless is checked in for O.J. Mayo. Here's Bayless. Hits it from 3-point range. Bayless has got 7 points.
Well, you can't leave him alone, especially from long range.
Clippers trail by 12. The dish to Redick. And there's the feed to Barnes. Some nice ball movement by the Clippers. Jordan kicks to Redick. Goes back up. And it's Farmar. That time on the assist from Redick.
And you can feel the pattern of this game, guys. They're working it inside, dominating in the paint, getting good shots at will.
Well, 4 of their last 5 baskets, guys, have been of exactly that variety.
Here's Antetokounmpo, covered by Barnes. Now Bayless. He's got 7, gets himself open and drills it. Bayless has got 9.
And he's shaken off a poor first quarter shooting effort. He's really starting to turn it on now, guys.
Farmar kicks to Barnes. He dishes it to Davis. And there's the pass to Redick. He's looking for Jordan and finds him. No luck. And so we conclude the first half. Milwaukee on top, up by 12. And a chance now to send you over to Doris Burke standing.
Thank you, Kevin. Coach, with the foul trouble right now, do you plan on resting your starters and relying on your bench?
Well, we're going to have to, you know.
Welcome back, everyone, to the start of the second half. Big margin on our hands, but we'll see if that gap narrows down in the third and fourth quarters. Blake Griffin really making a difference here.
That was fun watching him in the first half, just breaking out the entire arsenal of post moves.
Yeah, I think he might even have a few more tricks up his sleeve, and he'll